but starting the call in the middle of this call, starting the recording in the middle of the call because there was some good information that I wanted to make sure that I captured. But based on the DXY, we can automatically see that the pairs that are moving that are dollar based, they have the or dollar, they have the dollar on the front end of them. They're going to move in the same direction. It
Okay, that was
automatically
my next
alerts.
question.
Yes, sir. It automatically alerts my attention to pairs like USD CAD and USD CHF, which we would say are both looking to buy to the upside. They are in buy side moves currently. So that supports the DXY's movement. If the dollar looks like it's going to stay bullish, then the pairs against the dollar or the pairs that are trading in favor of the dollar will be bullish with it, while the pairs against the dollar will start to see things like lower highs, right? One touch, two touch, three touch, four touch. This is validated, right? Now we would expect to see lower lows, right? We might go ahead and say that we expect to see price to trade below here. Maybe we see these imbalanced areas, right, that become our targets. And we're immediately looking at trades that are like this, which is still not within my rules, but I'm on the 4 hour time frame. Maybe I dial it back and I'm like, okay, cool. I gotta use this previous high, and we're just gonna have to take a multiple attempt, if anything, and I catch something like this, right? Maybe I make it about 35 pips, 44 pips, 1 to 4, and I use this previous high and say that we just need to maintain above here. I probably would even have this tighter, and I would just take 2 trades to
And
stop
you're
me.
trying to sell off, correct?
Yeah, and I'd be trying to see, okay, if the dollar stays strong, then I could expect for AUD USD to sell into this imbalance, into this gap, right? I could expect for NZD USD to do the same thing, to follow along, which we already have that marked. I don't even have to mark it. And I don't have to trade all of these, right? I might just like trade some of the ones that look the best to me or that present the best risk to reward, or that I have the cleanest entry or the cleanest vision. Sometimes, look at that. That's what I would be looking at. Boom. That's why I keep my charts marked up, because I was targeting this area before. And it's just like, where did we trade back to? Oh, look, we tested previous structure. All these trades are probably going to hit, to be honest. I'm gonna have to try to get in there a little bit. And you don't want to over trade. You don't want to be like, oh, I see everything, so I'm gonna get in everything, and then now your margins and your risk, everything is messed up. You know what I mean? You want to be light, take your, try to find your entries. But I said all that to say the same way we looked at the USD pairs and we saw it in that way, I can look at the JPY basket and I can see that automatically the JPY has been selling, right? So with that being said, as they're selling, I can see that all the JPY pairs against that have been buying. That's what alerted me to it. Now, as I see, oh, the JPY basket was actually over at like 90, -90, and it's already broken through previous structure. We've taken previous highs. We've traded back above this gap right now. Remember that gap that I said, okay, look, if it trades above this gap, then I'm going to be looking for price to go higher. Look what we're doing immediately on this last 15-minute candle. We're trading back above it, right? Because I just want to invalidate the fact that price could potentially come back to this imbalance as well. I don't want to second guess my thinking and be like, oh, wait, but price could sell here, and it could trade lower, because then I start cycling in my head all through all of the options. So I'm trying to find a clear basis, a clear bias, clear direction. I just want clarity. Right now, this is my biggest clue. How do we respond to this level right here? Because if we trade above it, then we use this as the floor. Because this becomes an area that we tested, it broke through, we tested below, it broke through. This would be the floor for me, and I wouldn't be thinking about this body anymore. I would probably start looking at higher time frames and seeing what does it look like. Then I would bring it to this and I'd be like, this is the lowest that I would expect for price to go. I'm trying to find my trails right now because I'm already in the trade, right? Currently, I don't want to see price flip. So my stop loss is really below the low, right? The reason why my stop loss is below the low is because number one, if we see bearish, 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 we get a bearish candle that has no wick. I'm on the 1 hour time frame, right? Bearish candle has no wick. Price trades away. We get a bullish engulfing candle, right? Bullish engulfing candle. Price trades away. At some point, it trades all the way back down to the low. So it does retest. This candle is the retest. This is the retest. That wick, right? It retests here, but it cannot close below. That means that for this trade, I'm no longer looking for price to come below this level. My lows are in. If we trade below here, my bias is invalidated. I'm trying to personally, now that I'm in my trade, I'm trying to invalidate it. And I can't invalidate it based on that. If price trades below here, it would be invalid. But as long as we are above this level, my trade is still, I'm still personally probably in it. You know what I'm saying? Above here, max stop loss. Max expectation for real, is that price could trade back down to here. I don't even want price to do that. I want it to break above this structure first, right? To give me a push, maybe take out this level, and then from here, maybe we trade back, right? But so far, so good. I'm in this one currently. I think I'm up 30 pips or something like that on the CAD JPY pair, 20 pips. This breakdown looks good. So what made me look at all of these things? Okay, cool. Let me go through it again because there's always more confirmations. That was just my assessment of the JPY. The JPY is going to keep me on the right track. As long as this is buying right above where it is now, then I can feel confident in my sells on all of these other pairs. AUD JPY coming off of the major quarter level, I could feel confident that if we trade below structure, that we should see some sell side to mitigate this imbalance, right? CAD JPY, um, I like that we started to, so we have this like a parabolic buy, right? This is like, when you see the crypto charts and it's just like it's like the Mario candles. Like, yo, this is just like, yo, there's no like we have this like this just buy side that's just very interesting. It's very shallow and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That's something very interesting to me, right? This is probably a push to hit stop losses. There were probably people who were selling right here, right? They were taking sells right here. This big push, we sweep the highs. This is what gets me though. After that, we go into this more mechanical. You see how these two different buys are different? This buy is just, and then it gets real mechanical. It gets real mechanical. What I mean by that is that in this area, there are zero sellers for the buyers. There's none. There's zero sellers for the buyers, right? Coda, settle down, bro. Chill out. Here, there is a perfect seller for every buyer. There's a perfect seller for every buyer. We got what you need. If you want it, we got it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need, we got it. Buyer, seller, buyer. We're creeping up slowly. So it's like there's a tiny bit more buy side interest than the sell side. Even though we're so evenly matched, there's a tiny bit more buy side interest than the sell side, right? We get to a point and it's like we start to hit a wall and market just moves sideways. Now, guess what? These seller candles, they get a little bit bigger. Now we have a bearish engulfing sell side candle, right? We had one here, we had one here, but we have a bearish engulfing sell side candle, two in a row. We get one more push, and then we get this like it's almost a doji, right? I always pay attention to candles like this that are like it goes high, it goes low, it ends in the middle because that's indecision. It's a tug of war right there. You know what I'm saying? After we get that little tug of war, we get a bearish engulfing candle that now breaks this downside. I'm immediately looking for my sell side entries, right? Especially once we create a low below these lows. Now we're trading in a range to where we have higher, we have our high, and then we have lower highs, right? And we're starting to create like these hammers, right? This bullish engulfing candle completely erased by the next two candles. AUD JPY, boom, boom, just like that. We taking shots. This is how we get into it with precision. The market's been messing with me over the past couple of days. It's been very difficult, but this is how you break down structure and psychology. You know what I'm saying? This setup here, this chart here should be one that we study because this is perfect. It's when the science makes sense. It hasn't been making sense this week a little bit, but this is like what we can study. We can study this. We'll be doing up. What am I doing? I was about to drop the Zoom link. This is good science right here with this AUD JPY. Great chart for us to review. We are discussing it live now. Any questions? Yeah, I like when we
No,
call it like
sir.
that. Yeah, does it make sense when we call it like that and then it just plays out as we're speaking about it? These are the rare opportunities. Sometimes it doesn't happen like that and you have to wait for these things to play out. Look, remember that mechanical buy, mechanical, mechanical, mechanical. Look what we're retesting right now. All I want right now is for price to close below here. Even if you peak below this level, I'm on your ass right now. And guess what the JPY basket's going to do on the opposite end? Guess what? This buy, sell, retest, we don't need the retest anymore. So I delete this. I start to clear my charts. I like clean charts. As the market moves away, I clean up some of the stuff like below that's no longer relevant. That's no longer relevant. None of this is relevant anymore. This gap doesn't matter anymore. Gap has been filled. This is my new low. This imbalance is on the 15 minute, but that makes me feel like we're probably trading on a higher time frame. We might see, look at that right here, right? This is my new low. If price trades below here, I am not as confident. These two candles engulf this previous one. We're on the 4 hour time frame. This is a bigger trade. We're now looking at a bigger trade. Y'all see how I scaled down to try to figure out what's going on, but there's a specific time to start scaling back up. This wick right here, this candle right here tells me everything that I need to know. This candle right here, we're looking to close above this candle. This one that came up and rejected, we're looking to close above it. And we should no longer close below it. So if I was entering the market here, I would have my stop loss there, and I would have my stop loss probably below this candle. That's how I start to use other candle bodies. Like that's something that is like, I don't even know how to properly explain that, but this is what I would do. This candle is no longer like I'm not focused on him anymore. I think that he is, and at worst case scenario, right below him. Nothing below that. Nothing below that. This does not need to trade below this level. If it does, it's invalidated. We should immediately be looking immediately. I want to see immediately that we're looking to close above this candle, this structure right here. Immediately, right away, probably in the next 4 minutes since the 1 hour candle is closing. That's how confident I am with that. We need to attack this target right now. You know what I'm saying? I want this taken out here because if that's taken out, then this confirms this to be my new low. And we've now made a higher high into our buy side territory, right? We should see GBP JPY melting, melting. there's a fair value gap right here. We will pay attention to that, but we're not going to focus on that. We're not taking buys to the gap. If anything, we be patient. We have CAD JPY melting. I'm in this deep, boy. I'm in CAD JPY deep, deep. I'm in CAD JPY deep. What are we up? 300. Not bad. Beautiful. Entry at 114.70 right here. It's my entry. I'm in a bit deep. I want this to die all year. All year I'm talking about, bruh. This is the first trade. If like things we be like, yo, it's tough. That's the thing, bro. Keeping your emotional state and your confidence about yourself when things get tough, bruh, that's what trading is, bruh. Look at this. First call of the year, December 30th. Sunday outlook, CAD JPY play. You will not understand why we executed on this trade, but you will learn how you can take yourself to the next uh take it yourself. Oh, whatever. That's some marketing. But CAD JPY has been what I've been waiting on all year, bro. All year since December. I was calling this in December. If this busts, what is it doing? What did I just say, you guys? Does it seem like I'm making this up, or is the market doing what I say? I say we attack the highs, we have to attack the highs. It's not a question. We need to attack the highs. We have to make a statement here. If you're bearish, I mean, if you're bullish, tell me you're bullish now. This candle matters. This is the first candle of the 4 hour. We've engulfed completely. This is showing us big buy side. If people were to enter the trade right now, it would be a good trade. If they were to enter the trade right now, it would be a good trade. But in reality, we're already in the trade from down here. And I'm telling you, this is what we needed to break above. You guys are going to be confused with the time frames and the colors and whatnot. But remember, on the 15-minute, I said this is what we need to break above in order for our trade to be validated to the buy side. This is what I'm looking for now. We can pull back, cool, but this block is sacred. That block is sacred. My lows are here. If it falls, it invalidates. AUD JPY, banger, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. I needed that. I needed this for my mental. The market been beating my ass. I needed my lick. I needed my clap back, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I needed this trade, bro. I needed this. I swear to you, this is like exactly to be able to have you guys on live and break it down to you as we watch it happen in real time. I needed it to go just like this because the market has been kicking my ass this week, bro. And I'm like, yo, my energy's not right, high key. But guess what? Eventually, things have to come back into alignment. Things have to come back into alignment. Stop playing with me, bruh. Every single thing that I said just hit. Everything. 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 Beautiful, bruh. I ain't even gonna look at my screen, bruh. That's there comes a certain point to where I just stop looking at my charts. This is a compound opportunity. Oh, you can't even see it there because the colors. I'm not even about to touch anything. I'm gonna just be light. I'm gonna just keep it light because this is exactly what I've been waiting for, bruh. Compound. This is where you can make your positions bigger. We've traded back into previous structure. This is not slowing down. We're up 100 pips on Euro NZD. Stop playing. Stop playing. This is how it goes, bruh. This is what I needed, bruh. That USD CAD yesterday, it confused me. I think Ozzy called the sells on this one also. He called like 40 pips, 20 pips, 30 pips, something like that. But I was like, we got to be careful. We got to be cautious because as long as price stays above this previous structure, we're looking at the high side. Every single trade has been validated. Every single trade has been validated. Every single trade has been validated. Stop playing with me. This is gonna melt, bro. We have to make a statement here. This whole thing probably gets smacked, bro, on Nas. Every single thing has been validated just now. I don't even know what happened. We had some news today, but everything is in alignment. All the confusion that I was feeling is gone. GBP USD down 22K. That was way earlier, and then we just had ISMI, PMI services. This is what we wanted. This is what we were waiting for. That's beautiful, guys. This is a beautiful, beautiful play. Let's see. Euro NZD, big bust to the upside. Market done had me messed up, bro. Get it together. All right. So next, now what? Now what? Now we're patient. Now we've won the trade. Now we consider the worst case scenarios, right? This trade, guess what? I'm still keeping risk on the table. I'm gonna still keep risk on the table. I'm gonna reduce my risk a little bit. I'm gonna bring it probably into here because if we take the highs, I do expect for price to continue to buy. There's a little bit of a gap right here, right? To where it's like, do we? I don't think that we trade back into this structure here, right? I don't think that we trade back into this structure. However, it is quite possible that we do. I just don't want to be freaked out if my profit goes from being up $300 to zero, right? It's either that I accept that that is a possibility now, or I take partial profits and I secure my trade and I just continue to allow things to run, right? Those are my two options. But I cannot freak out and close my trade if the market pulls against me. That's rule number one. This is where it's just like, yo, it's about when do I take profits? Sometimes you gotta nut up. Oh, do we got women in the group? It's okay. It's sometimes you gotta like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta like really, okay, cool. Now it's just about let me see how long can I hold my trade without me violating myself? How long can I just be patient? Because if I close out now, because I'm scared that it pulls back and this mug falls like this, you are going to be miserable. You're going to be highly upset with yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you anticipate the pullback, okay, cool. If you look at the higher time frame and you're like, you know what, really on the 30-minute actually doesn't even show me that. The 1 hour kind of does, but we probably need a bigger break first. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's just about how do I manage myself, my emotion, and my trade. Oh, price is pulling back. What do I do? What do you do? Do you believe that your trade is going to win or not? Do we have further validation? This to me is further validation. Sell off into structure, right? Now we're not even looking at these highs here, which is what we were looking at. We're looking at these, right? And we see that's where price is testing. Okay, cool. We see that we got wicks, we got this sell, we got body. So it's not that there's imbalances up here on the 15-minute time frame. 3-minute time frame, the chart is clean. AUD JPY, clean setup. I didn't even enter this trade. That's crazy. This is the best one here. Clean setup. Guess what? What are we doing? Creating one more. Creating one more, right? So now what am I doing? I'm judging the candles. How do we close? Do we close bullish engulfing? Do we close bearish? Do we close, oh, long wick up top that we tested and the candle closed lower? Now I'm judging the candles, right? From the higher time frames, I may be judging the movement of the market, judging the bodies, judging the structure. On the lower time frame, I'm really starting to analyze the candles, right? Up, candles weakening. So what could happen? we could turn bearish engulfing. This could be the pullback. I would say that all of this up there would be completely invalidated. We have a new 5 minute fair value gap. Not really. It's basically closed. It's like it doesn't exist. So I wouldn't even expect for price to trade back into here. We're looking for price to sweep these floors. If we sweep these lows here while staying below here, the next level is open, right? That's basically how it is. It's checks right now. We're just checking, you know, what if price stays above here? Then the highs are open. Price could trade back to here. Just as long as I do not close my trade, I got to be willing to be like, yep, I'm still willing to take a loss here. I don't want to punk myself out of my positioning. Okay, AUD is still staying below. We got to break above. We're looking for the signs, but we're not being anxious. You know what I'm saying? Looking for the signs, but I'm not being anxious. 5 minute candle closes. We still got 3 more minutes. We want price to close lower, side to side. Still testing structure. We want price to close lower. Still not risk free, but I'm risk off. Let me update my positions over here. 114.86, 85 ish, somewhere in there. I was up 300. It's been reduced to 160. And that's okay. JPYs, we're seeing sell side back through structure. We could get a bearish engulfing candle here, right? We get a bearish engulfing candle back below here. Not the sign that we're looking for. I wouldn't make any decisions though, just so long as we stay above here, right? We want to continue making higher highs. You could say this high is higher than this one. So we could potentially trade back to this level here, maybe here. But in reality, we want to trade above here. We don't want no big bearish engulfing candle that comes all the way below here, breaks this trend line and tests the lows. That would give me my that would give me my indication to exit. That would be like, okay, cool. Now we're saying we're above the lows, right? We're buying. Now we're back into here. That would be like, okay, cool. Market might have faked. And that's just a part of the game. But you see, like I'm talking myself through it. I'm analyzing it through, what I'm saying? I'm seeing where are we checking the boxes, right? Where are we checking the boxes? Um, what are early signs of invalidation? Because if you think about it, as I do that and I'm looking at what signs are confirming and what signs are invalidating, you know how quickly, like I know that the market is shifting before most people do. So even when the market does shift, sometimes I'm able to secure profits because I was in so early and I was able to already secure my profits. And now we're almost looking at opportunities to switch our positions based off of that, right? It's still not what I want at this point in time. Still trying to paint the same picture, same story. I want to hold my trade for the long term, and I just need final confirmations. If I'm holding a position for the long term, once it gets past a certain point, the regular checks don't have to you don't have to be on it like that. You know what I'm saying? You can start trying to distance yourself. There are some things that still have me like dialed in on this. You know what I'm saying? There are places that price could pull back to, right? We just want to stay below here, right? Um, Yep, we can still see potential pullbacks. We haven't broken below this structure. Once we break into here, guys, this is not something I'm gonna be sitting down monitoring all day. Not really. I'm gonna set alerts. Check on this at this time, and we gonna step away. But I do take notice that when price is pulling away very quickly, we do have some like imbalances. We're getting some wicks up here. All of these are fantastic. Fantastic things are happening right now. We see this block though. We're not going to be ignorant though. We see this block. Is it possible that price just tested here and that we reject and we come off of there? Absolutely is. So we're not in the clear yet. That's what I'm telling you guys. We're not in the clear yet. If we get another 4 hour candle, bruh, that closes right here and does something like this, it's a wrap. We're getting close, but we're not there yet. We will have eyes on it though. Me and Ozzy gonna be monitoring it. And Ozzy, if you see it, you still call it. This is where like this is what it becomes like when you have a couple trades hit, stop loss, and it's a little bit back and forth. It's like how we gonna show up. We're gonna still follow the plan. We're gonna do what we said, what we know to do. We're gonna do what works. We're gonna question our own bias, right? We're trading back into structure. These are good signs, right? But when we break back below here, I'm telling you, it's gonna be up. But any questions, you guys? Oh, Ozzy's not even on here no more. He had to drop. He probably went to work. I'm about to hop off here in a second too, you guys, but talk to me real quick. Let me know if you guys have any questions. That was very high level and detailed. And it was just good because we were able to see it happening live in effect. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I could talk you guys through that step by step of just like the question and answering process, just asking more questions, even of myself. But yeah, question, Jay.
Yeah, man, I'm just kind of seeing how you go through your process. I don't really have a question on anything. I'm just always just intrigued by how you kind of walked yourself through the process, what you looked at, how you mitigated, and try to find different problems and solutions and things like that. So it was actually an interesting process. I was just kind of taking notes and taking it all in. So when I'm doing it, it's kind of like, okay, let me start questioning myself in this manner.
Yes, sir. Yeah, bro. I don't think I've ever had a call like this before. This one is a one of one. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I've never, because that's just like me just going through like, a lot of people, and even myself, like most people try to stay away from the place where they're questioning themselves. Sometimes when you're questioning yourself in an area of even the market, it's not the best thing because there's a time for indecision or there's a time for, excuse me, for decisiveness and, for decision. And then there's a time for, to where you can be more critical and you can analyze yourself. You don't want to analyze yourself in a sense of, oh, yeah, like, is it going, am I right? Like, I'm not saying am I right or wrong, but I'm just saying, like, if price starts to pull back, like this move right here, that just moved 20 pips, like, people will be freaked out by it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, how can I not freak out when it's not going according to the way that I would best. You know what my best case scenario is? That this thing falls 800 pips right now and it never comes back and it just does it in one candle. And in one 5 minute candle, the CAD just dies and it goes 700 pips. That's the best case. That's what I would love to see happen. I ain't even gonna lie to you. However, there are other options and there's other things that can happen. So if I know the things that can happen in my favor, then while it happens, it's just more confirmation. If I've already anticipated, when things could, maybe go against me, but still be in my favor in the long term, then I can account for that. And then if there are the situations to where now this is becoming, okay, this is not going according to plan. We've broken the highs here. We did not respect structure. We tested the lows. Now we're creating a higher a low and a higher high. This is not what I'm looking for, right? So it's just like going through that process. Dre, talk to me, my guy.
Just looking at everything, man. Just kind of, I was just finishing like with my son and stuff. So I was just hearing, taking peeps, just trying to make an understanding of your view at the market. I pretty much, you're looking at different moves around different pairs. What is, moving with each other. Like you said, the USD pairs move with each other, and some pairs move opposite from that. So you're just pretty much looking at every pair and looking at possible outcomes for the market, so you can be prepared to make your move.
Yeah, and even going off of what just Dre just said, like adding on to that, learning that more extensively when you look at the JPY basket or the dollar, the DXY, and how it manipulates the market and how you can kind of get those telltale signs from the pairs. So
Yeah,
definitely,
exactly. Just by
definitely.
looking. Yep.
Yes, sir. Piece by piece, man. We just take it piece by piece and we try to put it together. We try to make it make sense, right? What is the sense to what's happening right now, right?
Right.
I'm looking at the JPY basket, and based on what's happened in the past, it's given us these kind of signs, and I'm seeing what's happening right now. How do I make it make sense? Okay, cool. We see how price was kind of like mechanical here, sells, buys, sells. Maybe the sell that I just saw was a part of the buys, sells, buys, sells, right? It's not unless price goes and starts to do something different, create lows here. If we create lows here, Coda, settle down, bro. Yeah, it's not until we start to create a different pattern. It's pattern recognition. And right now we're duplicating, duplicating, duplicating. The next thing we would want to see is a higher high, which the higher high would actually also break now a higher time frame downtrend, you know what I'm saying? And all of these things as we see them, it just becomes one piece on top of another. And sometimes we see the story from the higher time frame down, but then you see that I'll go from the higher time frame down, and then I go from the lower time frame back up again. And I'm just making sure that there's a confluence across the different time frames. You see now we're trading back below, so
Which
it
pretty much
lines
like
up.
sorry, which pretty much just overly validates your moves, right? To have those confirmations in different time frames and makes your decision making stronger.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And sometimes you'll see like early signs of something. Maybe you'll see a sign on the 15-minute that's not reflected on the 40-minute or the 4 hour yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe you're like, okay, I just see this structure here. If I close here on the 15-minute at the end of this candle closure, then that's gonna mean this on the 4 hour time frame. Ooh, if I close up here on the 15-minute, that's gonna make it a bullish engulfing candle on the 4 hour time frame, right? Starting to think about it like that. I go layers deep, bro. This is like
Right.
some
So pretty much you're getting ahead of the smaller time frame, smaller things, and basically you're catching the move before it goes into the rest of the candles because it's just starting out at a smaller time frame.
yeah, what does it mean on the bigger time frames? You know what I'm saying? What does it mean? If I'm looking for, so we have 3 hours for the bull for the 3 hour we have 3 hours for the 4 hour candle to close. 2 hours and 40 minutes. That means that everything that happens in the next 2 hours and 40 minutes, that means everything that happens for the next two and a half 1 hour candles. That means everything that happens for the next, what is it? Five, 30-minute candles, the next
Right.
10, 15-minute candles. Everything that happens on these smaller time frames is simply making up what that 4 hour candle is going to be. So it's like, what are the possibilities, right? What are the possibilities? And then what are the possibilities without invalidating my current belief? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
We could pull all the way back to here and it wouldn't necessarily invalidate my current belief. So now, because of that, the moment that my belief is invalidated, I can see it immediately, almost instinct, almost instantly. You know what I mean? And then, of course, we wait for the candles to close, not just for where the market tests. But yeah, bro, that's kind of just how I go through it day to day. This was real live, real market session. Markets moving currently, still judging it and engaging on it, through. We
Just a
saw
good
the close
analysis.
below. Yep, we saw price pull back. It did not stop right here where I said this is the final place that we're looking for. It actually came back to retest the previous levels that we were at, right? But since I already had those marked, I'm not completely surprised by it. And we haven't seen price start to trade back into here yet. If I started to see price trade back into here, that would give me some signs that we are, you know, likely on our early note to continue taking highs from that point in time. And then I can switch my positions and I might look at something like this.
But see, that's not what you want though. You want to continue to go to that sell side pressure, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I would. That's what I would personally. That's what I personally like. because I'm already in the
Okay.
trade, so I'm a little bit biased. But
Well, no, I'm just trying to understand the way you're looking at it. That's
yeah,
all.
yeah, 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 yeah. We have the breakdown into here. We're trading below structure. Price comes back in retest. Imbalance is here. Lows to be taken. That is a good target. But if price broke above, guess what I would do? I would close out my trade in profit, and I would look to take the long position. So it's just like, is he right or is he wrong? It doesn't matter if he's profitable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I could be wrong, and even if I was wrong, I would still be up like 15 pips because we were talking about AUD JPY at the 110. Now, if we go back to the 110, I'm like, okay, we've been at the 110 too many times. Like maybe you're trying to be sneaky here. You know what I'm saying? What kind of sneaky business you got going on? If we retest right here, yeah, I'm just looking for confirmations. And guess what? Still to this point so far, there's nothing that's happened that has made me question or has invalidated my current belief. So I'm still just looking for price to go to the sell side. And every single time that we continue to fall, if we fall below this level here, guess what? That's new confirmation. And my bias gets stronger. I might be able to compound my positions and enter here again with my stop loss above the highs and look to take trades lower, right? This is where you start to get like, you turn the same move into a bigger play because now I'm trading off of equity. I would have been already, 30 pips in profit. Maybe I got a standard lot that's $300 in profit. Maybe I risk $100 from that profit and I enter again down here. It's like once it starts to work and things start to make sense, like now you can get a bit more like for me, that's when I can get creative. You know what I'm saying? When things have shown themselves to be sensible. Markets have been very confusing to me and that like flusters me just a bit because I'm used to it being very easy to see. You could even see break below here would be a break back into the structure. This would be the best thing ever. And honestly, if price pulls back to my entry and then sells from here, that would be fantastic because this imbalance would be mitigated and there would be no reason to come back here again. So this buy back to here, sell from 114 under 114.8 is the best case scenario right now. Buys to here, sells there, best case scenario. Sell below, best case scenario. If it turns right here, still a good case. Good case. Solid. It's even better for me because I'm already in it. But if it turned here, still solid. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, just check across the time frames, see how things make sense or when things no longer make sense. Remember, if I said that this was our low, our new low, how is price responding to that? Are we maintaining a higher low? We can trade all the way down to here just as long as we don't make a lower low. If we make a lower low here, I can guarantee that we're going to test down here, right? But as long as we stay above it, remember this is our low. Price could easily still just turn around because this is 9:30. It's 9:30, so that means that we still have 30 minutes left in this 1 hour candle. Price could turn around and close all the way up here, break this trend line, and be on the run for the rest of the day. You really just never know. That's why I'm just trying to see it early, right? Rejection here, cool. Buy back to here and then rejection, cool. None of it matters. All of it is cool unless we make a higher high. It's the only thing that invalidates us. That means we'd make a higher low, higher high. But with that being said, you guys, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Um, I will have eyes on the market throughout the day today. I'm not gonna be spazzing in there today though. I'm gonna probably be taking care of some stuff, but I'll pop my head in there. I'm gonna be watching these charts all day, start to set alerts in the market. 114.45 alert value, crossing price. 114.5 message, lower territory unlocked. Potential scale. Bum. Probably need a little bit more on that.
Where did you enter on that Canadian JPY?
CAD JPY 114.7. So I'm only
14.
10. Yep. 114.7. So by the time we get down there, I'll be 25, 30 pips in profit. I got like, I got a fat trade on there. I should be up like 500 bucks by the time we get down there. This is perfect, bro. This is super fantastic. This is super fantastic. Who talks like that, bro? Wale. They'd be like, who the hell speaks like that? I know a guy. I know a guy. Yeah, I know somebody. Freaking, yeah, this is fantastic, bro. This is everything that I
Yeah, bro.
needed.
When you're excited, you're excited, dog. That's all it is.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. So what are we looking for? What I'm looking for, and I'm gonna tell you even before I go back there, on the JPY basket, we want to see is price moving to trade back above our blue line? Are we aiming for that level? We haven't got there yet. We want to close this hour above here, and if it does, it's up. It's up. AUD JPY was the best looking setup, yo. This is so like I don't know if you guys probably don't even understand. I hope you can see with my structure. This is so beautiful, bro. Like it is just like doing what it's supposed to do. High rejection. Doji. This doji right here, indecision, shows us that there is something important happening right here, right? Price breaks above, consolidates, sits sideways, uses the previous high as the floor. Price breaks above, tests, creates this like ranging area right here. Trades above, price tests, buys, we come back and we test that same structure. Drop that line across there. Price falls, railroads, bump, sells into our lower level. We come back and we retest. We've already retested on this. We don't have to do anything. If there was a trade that I would call, it would be like AUD JPY right here. This is like, this is fantastic. Easy, 1 to 3. Realistically, 1 to 6, 23 pip risk. And the only thing that I need is I would wait for a candle to close below this level. That's it. I
Gotcha,
want to see
gotcha. I
us
see what
stay
you're
in
talking
this
about.
lower, this downtrend, close below here. A close below here sends us almost immediately, should send us about 45 pips to the downside. I love when I say almost immediately and then almost immediately it happens. We just need a close below. And that's a 15-minute close below. That's a strong close. Or does it close in? Yeah, no. Okay, so this is the new 3 minute candle, the new 15-minute. I love that, yo. This is fantastic. Good learning lesson.
Yes, sir. It was, man. I appreciate you, dog.
You know the vibes, my guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and look at that. I love that, bro. Immediately do what I say, and the market go crazy. That's in tune. We're in alignment. Um, yeah, you guys. I think that I'm gonna probably let this continue going so I can use a screen recording. And I'm gonna hop off though, and I'm gonna just let it ride for a little bit. So y'all could hop if you want to. I'm gonna just play some music in the background, and I'm gonna go clean my crib and take care of my dog, honestly. I'll
Yes, sir.
catch up with y'all boys later.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you again, dog. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. If you got some value, drop it in the chat. Let them know. Oh yeah, you guys got to catch this recording. You got to say that recording gonna be one of them ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
All right, bet that y'all boys. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually end this one so I could post that recording, and then I'm gonna start another one so I could record the screen. So I'll catch you later, bro.